Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Kevin or The Kevin Show or The Kevin Show as it's starting to get labeled out there in Twitter world. Thank you guys so much for the warm reception back into your lives, into your homes. You know, I took a little hiatus and I could not be more grateful for the warm welcome that I received. In my last episode, I talked about my new newsletter, and I begged you guys to all to kind of sign up. Well, you can still do that on my website, but I want to say thank you to all 103 of you guys who signed up for my newsletter. So that's going to give you VIP access to my show and other stuff that my guests might want to share with you later on. So this is a direct link from the show to you into your email inbox. Because as you know, there's often times where we have additional information or whatever that we want to get out to you guys, links, you know, to look at or whatever. Now we can just send it right over to you direct in that newsletter among a bunch of other really great, exciting news. And 103 of you guys signed up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we are preparing to make this show more and more interactive as we progress. And nothing is better than Twitter. And I just want to say hello and thank you to all 1,400 plus of you guys who are now following me on Twitter. I really, really, really do appreciate the interaction and everything else that you guys give me and the feedback that you guys provide throughout the shows. And even though we're not doing the show live anymore, you know, we are going to make it a way for you to really, really be interactive with this show, because there would be no show without you, the audience. And Twitter's given us a wonderful vehicle to interact with one another, unlike anything else. So you'll see that hashtag up there all the time. You can tweet me directly. Oh, there you go. That's my Twitter. That's my personal Twitter. And yes, it is really me most of the time doing the tweeting. And then, of course, there's the hashtag that we can use if you want to just, you know, comment and stuff like that. We talked a whole lot about being one of my VIPs, and you guys signed up and stuff. My website has all the information, and we've got some amazing guests coming up. So you want to be part of that. You don't want to miss out. You want to be one of my VIPs because I want the best for you. And my guests have some amazing opportunities that they want to share. And, you know, yeah, they want to share it with me, but I want to share it with you. So I kind of feel like I'm Santa all year round. So make sure you're one of my VIPs, and the easiest way is just to get that newsletter, which is all on my website, kevinaguilar.com. Really, really simple stuff. And holy cow, you guys did it again. I must give you guys so much thanks. To you guys, I have now just recently become a YouTube partner. So I want to say thank you to my friends at YouTube. Thank you guys, all 11,000 of you, for watching my YouTube videos and watching, you know, these episodes on YouTube. I could not be more flattered, and I'm just trying to think here, 11,000. I can't even picture that many people, but you guys did it. We got 11,000 views thus far on the YouTube channel. To visit my YouTube channel, it's super, super easy. Right there, you can go to my website. You can see past episodes of this show, full-length versions, all on my YouTube channel. Plus, you can see a bunch of other fun stuff. It's just, you know, me making my favorite burger, or maybe it's my favorite restaurant, or who knows. There may be like an amazing new bar in Vancouver that I might have heard about that I may want to go and try it out. So no pressure to the owner, but you never know what I'm going to talk about. You know, I've already had my favorite coffees on there, my favorites of whatever it is. So you guys out there, if you have a restaurant or a food cart, you know, I have my phone with me. I film them on the spot. I love to give my little reviews, and my reviews are on there as well. And typically they're my best tips of what to eat and stuff like that, what to order, different stuff. Anyways, that's all on my YouTube channel. So again, I just want to take a quick moment to just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the amazing warm reception. I can't wait to do more of these shows for you guys, because you guys are just, I mean, it's been awesome, and I feel privileged to be talking to you guys tonight. Speaking of talking and stuff tonight, a while back when I first decided this crazy idea of doing a television show, I was doing it live. Definitely was not in this studio. It was in I call it a closet. It was the size of a shoebox, and I don't know if any of you guys remember the early episodes, but I had a gentleman come on, and after he came on, he left a huge impression with you guys. I remember I got a lot of emails that you guys were just really, really taken back with what he had to say. He came on, and he wasn't talking about if, he talked about when. If, when Portland was to have a natural disaster, when Portland was to have perhaps like an earthquake or something along those lines. And it was, using your guys' words, shocking and alarming. And you guys, my viewers, labeled him the disaster guy. Well, I enjoyed, re-inviting people back who made impressions, and that's kind of what we're doing tonight. So, without any further ado, the disaster guy himself is back. I am excited and happy to welcome Bruno Amicci. How are you, sir?
Good. Glad
Disaster guy. No, there's only been 3 guests that got a title, and you're one of 3. So congratulations.
I guess so. It's a good one.
I know. and none of them are as creative as disaster guy.
Right.
So let's tell me a little bit your background, a little bit what you do.
Sure.
And then we'll get into some good stuff.
Well, I live and work in the Portland metro area, and I've had a business for the last 25 years. Tri Technology Group. We do IT staffing and recruiting for some of the larger companies here in town, medium-sized companies. And as part of my business continuity for Triad, I started looking at what happens if we have a major power outage, if we have a winter storm that shuts us down for a week.
Right.
That happen. Then what happens if we have that major earthquake that everybody's talking about, the Cascadia subduction zone? That could be an earthquake the size of the Japan Fukushima earthquake 2 years ago. That was a 9.1, 2, something like that. Same tectonic activity, okay, same slippage. It's going to shake Portland for 5 minutes. It's going to devastate. It's not, again, if, it's when. And it's not just me, it's Dogami, the Oregon Department of Geology, that's saying it. And so I started going, what do I need to do to make sure that my business is safe so that we can continue, right? Without a business, there's nothing. If the business is your only source, I don't rely on a large company to feed me. I've got to, right? And in the same boat are thousands of small businesses in Portland, insurance agents and pizza places and food carts and literally thousands. And so I started talking with business people and Rotary clubs and this kind of stuff, and I started looking online, and there's a great website called ready.gov.
Ready.gov.
G-O-V.
G-O-V.
It's the government's website, and it has everything you need to know about preparedness, both for a business and for an individual. So then I go, okay, I'll get a business ready, so if it happens, I've got food, I've got water, I've got a ham radio, I've got, emergency medical kit, your basic, a little bit, maybe more than basic,
Right.
I've got stuff for flu, I've got stuff, a lot of alcohol for scrapes and, the kind of injuries that someone might have after an earthquake. But I also have blankets, because you may be sitting in the cold for days without electricity, okay?
Right.
My guys might be stuck at the office for days. So then, it hits you, well, if my guys are stuck there, who's taking care of their spouses and kids? Where are the kids? Are they in school? Are they in bed? Guy's going to freak out. He's going to walk back.
Right.
Walking from Tiger to Milwaukee, when the bridges are down, not going to happen.
Right.
So I started telling my folks, get your families prepared. Start storing some water. Water's paramount.
Absolutely.
Okay. Food. Okay. And basically buy an extra can every time you go shopping. Buy an extra can. A can will feed 2 people. Chili will feed 2 people for a day. Buy Band-Aids. Buy an extra set of eyeglasses. Keep extra sweaters, blankets. Okay. If you have the funds, a ham radio, because the ham radio system was set up for emergency communications. It runs off of your 12-volt car battery. Okay. You have to get a license. It costs $15 for 10 years. That's $1.50 a year.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Okay. That's how you'll communicate with your spouse.
Right.
So as it started expanding from my core employees to their families, I started getting involved with the City of Tigard, with the Community Emergency Response Teams, CERT,
And I think that's when I met you.
That's when you met me. I was the commander for the CERT in Tigard.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
I mean, CERT was set up by FEMA, basically. It's under FEMA. And it's sponsored by a city. And typically sponsored by the fire department or the police department or the public works. In Tigard, it's sponsored by public works, their emergency services management department. And what they do is they provide the training for citizens to respond, kind of like air raid wardens, you know, during World War II.
Right.
After an earthquake, after a major catastrophe. You know, when a snowstorm happened a couple of years ago, people were calling Tigard PD going, I'm out of milk.
Are you kidding me?
I kid you not. I kid you not. That's the expectation that we have. Okay?
Gotcha.
So we need to be able to get the message out to folks in retirement homes, in trailer park communities, at the schools. Okay, there's a whole program called CERT Teen that can be introduced in the school systems. You know, I've talked to several schools in the Tigard area, and their disaster plan is basically, you know, after the earthquake, the parents will come and pick up the kids, and we just have to keep them somewhere safe.
And okay.
Exactly. How does that happen, you ask me?
Right. How do you feel about, how would you rate that readiness of that plan?
It's not very good. It's not very good. Okay, I would make sure, since you may not be able to change the school, make sure that your child knows, in case of earthquake, this is what you're going to do. This is your route home, okay, or whatever. Okay, what the schools need to do, in my opinion, as a civilian, but as an educated civilian,
right,
is you got to plan for maybe a third of those kids going home or getting picked up. A third are going to stay maybe 24 hours, and another third are going to stay maybe 72 hours before they get picked up.
Wow.
Because parents are going to be on the other side of town, bridges are going to be down, power lines are going to be down, trees are going to be blocking streets, okay? Cell phone towers are going to be down. So the kid's going to stay there, the teachers are going to stay there, and if they don't have blankets, if they don't have water, if they don't have food, and they don't.
Right. And you know, this is kind of interesting. So viewers out there, as we're kind of talking about this, I'm just, in the back of your mind, right quick, ask yourself really, really quick, I mean, what is your plan? Do you have one? Number one. And number two, your disaster kit. No disaster is going to happen during my show, because I won't allow it. But after my show, I have no control of what happens. So, you know, if a disaster was to hit right after the show, what does your kit look like? I mean, how do you have 1, 2, 3, 4 days, you know, in reserve there? So what is that like? Let me know. You know, well, don't let me know. Think about that as we're discussing, because we've got more and more information. Let's see, in terms of what we're going to be talking about, and I think there may even be a follow-up. So I'm sorry.
All right, well, I want to do a quick takeaway from the ready.gov website.
Yes.
And it says, be informed, okay, find out what the threat is, make a plan, get a kit. It's that simple. Be informed, make a plan, get a kit.
And I'll share that website with everyone who has my newsletter. That's why, if you notice, I made a note. That's what's going on. I'm writing my newsletter. I'm paying attention. Don't mind, you know. But I'm working on that. So viewers, my viewers know, if you get my newsletter, you're going to get any links that come up during our conversation. It will be in the next newsletter. So then working with Tigard. But I also see that I've noticed that you've also have become really, really involved with a whole other big project outside of Tigard. And so I thought that was kind of interesting, because it looked like you're doing something in terms of Training Advisory Council for the Portland Police Department.
Yeah.
So so my question is are you training them on what to do in case of an earthquake, or what is this entailing?
Sure. Well, let me give you a little bit of background. The Training Advisory Council is basically about a year old.
Okay.
And it came about out of a city resolution forming a council of citizens to advise the police training division on how to improve their training to be more responsive to the needs of the community and to be more responsive to some of the needs that were outlined in the Department of Justice settlement with United States versus City of Portland. That came about. Oh, go ahead.
Are you talking about what some may say, some of the I want to say police brutality, but some of the things that may have come up in recent past?
Excessive use of force.
Excessive use of force.
Right.
That's the word.
Force that might have been misapplied.
Okay.
Okay, so it's very difficult to be a police officer.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it.
Never.
No.
No, I couldn't.
And we're asking a 22-year-old college-educated, highly trained young man or woman to put their life on the line and to deal and make a split-second decision when they're confronted with a 50 or a 60-year-old mentally ill or diabetic going into shock, or an alcoholic with a drug interaction,
right,
who is going nuts. And this person, this police officer, this young man, has to assess what's happened to bring this person into this mental health crisis, and whether that person is going to constitute a threat or not. And if that person is going to point something at them, if that's going to be a gun, is he going to kill somebody? Is he going to kill me? And I have to shoot first.
Right.
And that's going to happen in 2 seconds. Right? How do we train all that? It's unfair to ask a 22-year-old to think like a 50-year-old, but that's what we're asking them to do. Okay, so, and that's the impact, I think, of the Training Advisory Council. The other thing is, my passion is preparedness. I am concerned that in case of a major earthquake, that if the police are not prepared, we might have the same kind of reaction as we did in New Orleans during Katrina, where half the police officers basically went home. Why? To take care of their families. Right?
So just think about that, everybody. Just think about that, because I think you used in our little pre-talk, cut and run was the term that you used. Just think about, if there was a major type of disaster, and I'm not justifying. I'm just simply saying that it would be human nature to say, okay, this place is in chaos. What about my own family?
Absolutely.
So they're human.
They're human. There's
human.
no aspersion cast on any of the actions of the police officers. You would do the same thing. Firefighters did the same thing.
Right.
I got to take care of my family first. So since we know this, let's plan for it. Right.
Wow.
That's all it is.
I know, but I'm just saying, wow.
All right. Now let me blow your brain some more.
Okay.
We are the first generation that knows that an earthquake is coming. We know it. We can look back. It's happened every 300 years. Last time it happened was 1700, January 26. Okay, we know the time because the tsunami hit these little villages in Japan. We know the time. We can track it back. We know it's in about a 300-year cycle. We're at 312. So, is it going to happen in my lifetime? I hope not. Yours? Maybe more likely. Could it happen right now? If it does, I'm going under this table, because that's where
I'm just gonna follow your lead.
That's exactly, and you hold on. So, I don't want to live in fear, and I don't.
Right.
But I have car insurance, and I have fire insurance on my house.
So that's interesting. So just using that analogy that you just that example, in a sense, we're technically almost overdue.
We are overdue. And that's what the Department of Geology, Oregon Department of Geology, will tell you. And they're waving their arms, going, and geologists at U of O, they're aware of it. They know what's going on. The people in the know in the cities, the emergency managers, okay, everybody knows what's going on. And the effort is to go out to the churches, through community television, to the businesses, and spread the word, because when it happens, we're not going to get the help for a day, maybe 3 days, maybe 7 days.
Because people, we've all seen it happen in other cities, and we've said, oh, it could never happen here, but you're saying that it can.
It will.
And it
I'm
will.
It will.
And it will.
Yeah.
And that the best thing for people to do is to be prepared for themselves. So I do this show for my viewers, and it's all about my viewers. So you guys out there, here's something for you guys to consider and think about. What if, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think you can handle this. What if we were to do a follow-up show? Because I'm thinking, I just asked you guys earlier, what's in your disaster kit? I know what's in mine. It was $4.99. I got it at Walgreens, and it's got a thing of gauze, an ointment, and 5 Band-Aids. Am I covered? No? Okay, you see?
Can I do a face palm?
So you see, people, it's okay. So how about this? A challenge for you. What if we had you come back? I would actually, personally, would like to see your disaster kit.
I accept.
Thank you. Bring it in.
Yep.
We're going to lay it all out. I want to go through it, and then we're going to go through it with you guys as to what to do to actually have an official disaster kit. Because that's going to be a huge part of getting the word out there to the public and getting people prepared is to have them have their own. So
Exactly. And it's not that expensive, and 90% of the stuff you have is already lying around the house.
You're kidding me.
I kid you not. You just got to have it all in one place so you can grab it and go.
Grab it and go. So if you guys like that, email me, contact. Well, actually, email's not the best. If you tweet it. Tweet the Kevin Show. Let me know what you guys are thinking. If you have ideas, suggestions, tips, whatever, let's do that. Let's be interactive, and we'll take your tweets and if you have some disaster type questions for follow-ups, remember you can also tweet those, and we'll save them. And when we have Bruno back on again, we'll ask those questions. I'll have you answer the viewer questions as well.
Sounds good.
So, all right, so that's what we're doing. So you want to ensure that with the Portland Police in this example, that they don't do the cut and run. You're working to educate them. So this must be quite the high-paying job that the city's must have given you.
No, it's all volunteer work. Of course, it's all volunteer work. But everyone on the council are all volunteers, and they are doing it because they're passionate about public safety.
Right.
Bottom line. I think everyone has a high regard for the police.
Absolutely.
And we have a great police department. Our Metropolitan Police Force in Portland is one of the best in the nation, if not the best. Is there room for improvement? Yes.
Absolutely.
Continuous improvement. And what I found is that they are very eager to take community input, and it's a joy to be a part of it. Because I'll be able to measure my results because we measure the training effects. So, and as people want to give input into training, we're going to set up channels whereby citizens can give input that gets sent up to the council. When you start telling me about the story about your encounter with the Portland Police, I had to take a breath because I went, okay, it's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. There's nothing in between, and it was good. So I was really happy with that.
All right, so now you put me out there. So yes, guilty. I have had a run-in with the Portland Police. It was when I real quickly let you guys know. My mother watches this show. She's having a heart attack as we speak. Okay, so Mom, the very first time I drove downtown, I got lost, and I grew up in a small town. We didn't have these things called bus lanes, so I was in a bus lane. It's all these one-way streets. I was downtown on like 5th Avenue, and finally a police car pulls me over, and I may have been a little worked up and a little upset, and I was just trying to get home. I couldn't find I-84, and he was calmed me down and gave me quite literally a police escort out. So I had a wonderful run-in with the Portland Police. So. And that's something about that, because yes, there may have been some incidents in the city in Portland where there has been something that didn't go right or something that didn't go well. But you cannot blame an entire force. You can't blame everyone for the actions of maybe one or two who either possibly made a mistake, or were not trained correctly, or whatever. So we got to keep that in mind, people.
I personally, from what I've observed, I have a hard time believing that there's any malice out there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. When stuff happens is because someone made a mistake. So how do you fix that? Well, you train to a better result. You train to a better outcome.
Right.
And part of what the training council does is we get to influence that outcome. And that is so progressive that I don't think anybody else in the country is doing it.
So this is something new. So again, Portland's kind of on the forefront. And like I said, they've been a friend of the show. And I know that my show has been a friend back. I know that we try and support the Sunshine Division, and it's a great organization. So, it's been a good thing. So you guys don't need to tweet me if you had a bad experience with the Portland Police. This is not what the show is about. It's okay. I like hearing from you guys, but I don't need to hear that.
Exactly.
I have a good relationship with my viewers.
Good. I can see that. It's very nice.
So I'm trying to figure out. I've been dying to use SHTF.
Yes, technical term.
Technical term, yes. Because we know it. SHTF. Stuff hits the fan.
Stuff hits the fan.
We had to edit it because I wanted to keep my good time slots.
Right, FCC.
So we know it's going to happen. You're working with the Portland Police, getting them up to par on not necessarily more police training, but how to handle the situation so we don't have ourselves another situation like New Orleans.
Right.
And stuff like that where
I don't want to overcommit to anything.
Right.
My objective is in the next couple of years to make sure that we've got a couple of hours of preparedness training for every officer as they go through their in-service training once a year. So that we're going to teach them to store water, to make a plan, to store food, to talk about it with their kids, to have blankets, to have the emergency kit, to have a community, all the stuff I've been preaching.
Right.
You know, for you, for him, for her, for the police officers, right?
And you kind of mentioned something that I thought was really interesting about the schools. You know, what can what parents are going to hear that, and they're going to, what if they want to help? What if they want to help get the schools more prepared? Do they contact the schools?
See, I don't know.
Okay.
My guess on that is probably start with the school superintendent. If enough people talk, it'll filter down to the principals, and that's where the stuff happens. The reality is schools don't have a budget, so I don't think they're going to be stockpiling blankets or anything like that.
Right.
What can you do for your child is the important thing.
Gotcha.
Most important thing is what's the plan after the earthquake for your kid?
Exactly, and that's where I'm going to help you guys. My gift to you, because I'm obviously not an expert in this field, but I got connections that are, and that's you.
Okay.
So we're going to have you back. It's official now. We're going to have you back, and we're going to watch on a future episode, and we are going to go through your personal disaster plan. You're going to show me how to create it, right? And I'm going to share that with my viewers, because again, people, it's going to really come down to you being prepared, because if there is a major situation, you're going to have to rely on yourselves. I think that as much of the public assistance would like to be there for you, they may not be as readily available for the first 24, 48, 72 hours. What are you going to do? And that is what will be the focus of that episode, okay, you guys? So don't panic. You know, we're not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. Yep. Don't be run out to the streets. But we can help you put something together.
And I think it was Pascal that said preparedness, chance favors the prepared mind. So
chance favors the prepared mind.
So if you can up the odds 2%, 3% in your favor, why not?
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah, and like you said, I'm really curious because you said, was it 80% or 80 to 90% of the stuff is already in your home? Yep. So it's not gonna break the bank.
Nope. But just getting it all together so that in case you have to evacuate, it's your go-to kit, right?
Right.
You take it, you put it in your car, your pickup truck, and you're out of there.
That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, always interesting speaking with you.
It's a pleasure.
I really appreciate you coming out and spending some time with me. Great to hear about the work that you're doing. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
I think that our city is going to owe you great gratitude if that day should come in the near future, because I know that you've done some good stuff. I know this is your passion.
It's my passion, yeah.
And I encourage everyone to follow those passions, and I commend you for following yours.
If I can take 10 seconds.
You sure can.
Following your passion, it's so rewarding. What makes Portland work, what makes Portland and Oregon so unique is that people like you, people like me, are following our passion.
I just love sharing information.
Yep.
It is.
I just love telling
passion.
people what to do.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So there you guys have it. Go to my website, sign up, get my newsletter. If there's some additional information, we'll be sending that out in the newsletter as it pertains to this. That disaster kit, we may even get you an itemized list afterwards. So, who knows what we're going to do. So you want to go to my website, and it's just really easy. You just type in your name and email or something, and then you're on there. And of course, I'm there. I'm with you guys. I'm listening to you guys on Twitter. It's right there. You can just use that hashtag if you want, or if you want to follow me, I would greatly appreciate it. I love every one of my followers, 1,417, something like that. I love every single one of you guys. So thank you guys so much for the support that you guys have been giving me. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Again, thank you so much. Again, absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show. I look forward to seeing this disaster kit. Because I want to get prepared. I want to do this, and
good.
I know that they do too, and we need to.
What you're doing is very valuable for them. So absolutely, you got my word on it.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you. And to every one of you guys, thank you so much. If you want to watch the show again, You can always watch it on YouTube. You can watch it as many times as you want. Just keep clicking it and clicking it. It's awesome. I know YouTube loves it, and I know I love it. So you can always watch this and share this also. This show is also available on Facebook, and you can also view it there as well. So we're kind of all over social media. So thank you all for tuning in. Have a safe evening, and I'll be talking to you all again soon. Bye-bye.